Hey folks, Wayne Davis. I often get asked, why do I throw a spinner? I'm probably one of the few guides that throw a spinning setup a lot. And it boils down to this. Many years ago, I went to Florida and I showed up with my bait casting reels. And right away, they knew I was from Texas. And most everybody in Florida throws spinners. So I watched those guys throwing spinners and they were super effective. They could throw into the wind, they could throw against the wind, no wind, they could throw far, sideways, all that, never had a backlash, never had any issues. So I got to thinking about that, and when I got back to Texas, I thought, well, I've got a lot of clients that throw spinners, and I'm gonna learn how to throw a spinner specifically because A, I saw how effective it was, and B, I needed to be able to communicate with my anglers to, if they have an issue with a spinner. If I throw baitcaster all the time, I really don't know. So I ended up going to a spinner, and I throw it now for 5 years probably or better. And I really like a spinning setup for light tackle, no wind situation. The drag systems on spinners are good, and it also saves your shoulder. So if you're casting with a baitcaster consistently all the time, same rhythm, same rhythm, same rhythm, you get tired. You switch over to a spinner, you can function a little bit better. You're not as tired, you're not as regimented and just throwing the same exact way all the time. So when a client has a wind knot, I know how to communicate with them. When a client has too much line on their reel or too little line on their reel, I can communicate with them. I know how to work the drag. I know how to talk to my clients about spinners. And at the end of the day, they're awesome. It's an awesome setup for throwing light tackle. The other day we were fishing, we had zero wind. I was throwing twice as far with a small plastic than the guys with a baitcaster. Why? Because you can just zing it out there and it goes a lot better. Because the fish weren't eating big baits, they weren't eating topwaters, they weren't eating heavy big jigs and soft plastic, they were eating light stuff. So I was able to catch more fish than the guys that I was with throwing the baitcaster. So it boils down to this also. So a high quality reel, such as the Shimano Vanford with high quality line, paired with a nice quality rod, you won't have as many wind knots. I don't know why that is, but cheaper, less expensive reels, I often see clients with wind knots. I never have wind knots because I choose a high quality line, such as Power Pro and High Seas. Quattro right here, 20-pound test. This line, the line's good, very, very few wind knots. And then a good quality reel. Whatever it is with the reels, you know, people that have wind knots often have a less expensive reel and less expensive braid, just a cheaper braid. But you get into the quality, you're gonna weed out all those issues that you can have out on the water. And furthermore, you can catch a lot of fish on a spinning reel. Small, light stuff like this. They're now super light. It works out really good. And feel that I'm a better rounded angler and fishing guide simply because I can communicate with folks that throw spinning and folks that throw baitcaster, because I throw baitcaster all the time. I carry 2 rods, baitcaster and a spinner. Baitcaster generally has a topwater on it. I'm pretty effective with that. I can work it a lot easier than I can a spinner. Soft plastics, small stuff such as these little darters right here like this, 3-inch bait, you can zing them out there and you can work them real effectively with a spinner. So if you're considering fine tuning or upgrading your fishing angling skills, consider a spinning setup. They're easy, they're nice, they're effective, they catch big fish, there's nothing wrong with them. And those Florida guys got something going on with them because that's where I picked it up. So hope this tip helps for you guys, and we'll catch you next month.